random stream. We normally do the creature conference on Friday afternoon and evening, and we're not able to this week because Hydra's off having another spawnling, and Flynnhammer's off celebrating the wedding of his brother. So, and I am off in a very, very part of my province, chilling in what is actually my favorite place to hobby in the world, which is the corner of this screen and porch. We got this place we rent, and oh fuck. There you go. That's how good the stream's gonna go. All right, so here's my view, which is pretty cool. It's raining out there right now, which I like. Here's my setup. I got my nice red grass game super light, but I brought everything I needed to film myself doing work. I didn't bring what I needed to stream, which is an HDMI cable for my. Here's my big pink work box. Friggin' love this thing. It's a makeup case that I literally rescued from a landfill out here one of the times we were up here, and covered with stickers, but it holds all the hobby stuff I need in a very convenient cubicle container. Oh, there's someone here. I can't see this. I'm gonna double team this where I'm gonna pull up the chat on my laptop, I hope, so that I can get the chat and see the chat, because it's really annoying to see it on my phone. And then the phone can just film. Oh, there we go, impromptu converting stream. I have turned off my audio, so that won't be a problem. Okay, there we go. There is no chat. So if you're here, please leave a chat. Thanks for joining. Sorry for the no notice. And yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this later today, so I started it early. Hello, Diana. Greetings. Oh, I did see that. And I see it on my computer. Fantastic. Oh, wait. I might be killing bandwidth here. One moment. I want quality to be garbage. There we go. I just need the chat. Okay. And also the Wi-Fi here. I don't know if it's bueno. But yeah, we've been coming here for a number of years, and this is my favorite place to work because, well, it's got an amazing view, and it's outside. And I got a little hobby companion here, kicking around, and I got a fan, which is great. So yeah, I realized that I can balance my phone on top of my light. So it's not going to be as good video as I normally have because, like I said, I forgot to bring the HDMI cable I need to connect to my my real webcam, but it's something. And I figured I was working on stuff anyway, so I could put this up if anyone's around, in case someone gets bored today and is missing the creature conference, since we're not going to be able to do it later. So here's an early, sort of, kind of, not really creature conference. Can I like pop out this chat or make it bigger? Moderation, activity, timestamps, reactions. Pop out chat! Oh, I can do it. Fantastic. I love it. All right, I'm going to make this tiny, so I don't hopefully use less bandwidth. And I'm going to have the chat giant so I can see people. All right, this is great. Remember to stay hydrated. Thank you, Draco Meteors. I have water right here with my big... Oh, here's one of Hydra's stickers. Here's my Mr. Pink sticker from the beer that bears my name. Yes, they totally did it for me. Here's the Stop Asian Hate sticker from Secret Planet, because Secret Planet's amazing. We got a fountain pen sticker from Goulet Pens. Here's Hydra's old sticker that got kind of... It peeled. That's why I cut it. I've got his new sticker somewhere else. Lovebot. Beck, Toronto graffiti artist. This is, what the hell's his name? Johnny Five from Short Circuit. Like that movie from when I was a kid. Lovebot, another graffiti artist in Toronto. Some random sticker I picked up at TCAF. Don't fucking give up sticker. I can't remember her name. She's awesome. Another TCAF sticker. And Pièce de Résistance giant dragon thing. And pizza. Holographic pizza with a sword through it. Oh, here's another Hydra sticker. I don't know if you can see that. Here, I don't break things. We've got Hydra's new... Oh, this actually works really well, having my phone on my light, but I should sticky tack it in so it doesn't go wandering. Pinkest Political sticker from Hive Fleet Hyper, who's awesome. And Hydra's Spore Mine sticker. One sec. Bear with. Oh, this is the jankiest setup. I'm literally sticky tacking my phone to my light. I love it so much. Oh, frick. Operation is locked. Rotate device. Oh, God. Now the device thinks it's on a weird angle. There we go. Operation is locked. What does that mean? Okay, I want you to be like this, phone. Hopefully that doesn't make you mad. Oh, quality is fine on phone, not the best on TV. Thanks, Diana. What? Okay, there we go. Now I'm staying hydrated. Yeah, if you think the quality's not so good, watch this on your phone. Because apparently that's the place to be for this janky stream of necessity. One day I'm going to be happy with my setup. One day. Dang it. Okay, this was working a second ago, and then I got fancy, and now it's not working? Oh my god, I hate my life. All right, that's where the phone wants to stay, so that's where I'm going to work. Fantastic. So I'm working on, I think I put it in the title description, this is a Hive Crone that I'm creating for a commission. And I want live chat, not top chat. Live chat. And I got it most of the way here. Modifications to it include that I cut and reposition the tail. A lot of the things about the Harpy Hive Crone don't really make sense to me. The tail kind of like, it curves down a bit, but then it's supposed to curve up. It does this kind of like S-curve thing, like it's trailing behind it. So I curved it around below so that it's like coming in for a strike with this creepy tail I put on it. I modified the carapace alignment. So this carapace is usually supposed to like, come on phone, stay with me. The carapace is supposed to be like together like this, but I basically like widened it out like that, flattened it out more. It's like an A-frame before, and I flattened it out like that, and there's a little bit of a gap in the middle. And I chucked this Norn emissary piece into that gap. The brain matter on the front here, I think these are Norn emissary head pieces, and I think these are Neuro Tyrant pieces, the left and right. Again, just instead of having them together like this, I just pop them out, and there's gap in between. So yeah, there's that. Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, there's that, and then I have another random. I think this is off the back of a Norn emissary head. This like Hive synaptic relay thing back here. The jet engines, because they're definitely jet engines to power it along. They are the largest sport chimneys on the back of the Norn emissary, and I put them on left and right, and I kind of like fit them in under the carapace. And then the head is a back carapace plate from the Norn Assimilator. Shout out to Persnickety Sculptor for showing me that idea of using it as a head. And then the jaws are Trigon, 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 Trigon. These are the same jaws, just flipped. And then the bottom jaw is actually the top jaw from a Trigon. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I need to sculpt some neck detail here, because you can see I have quite a large gap here. So I filled that gap with aluminum foil. I've pinned the head, this headpiece, into the body. And yeah, I'm just going to fill that with some putty. Of course, I sculpted this armor plate here that was unnecessary because it's going to be covered by the head, and I love doing that, sculpting things that I don't need to sculpt. Oh, and then other bits. These are the crown pieces from the Norn. I wish this phone was higher. Let's see if I can get away with it. It's just going to die again. Get mad at me. Oh, maybe it's because... One moment. If I move... Oh, yes, okay, the phone changed its orientation. Terrible things are happening. I get it. What if I move this across? Nope, it's still sagging like it's its friggin' job. How did I have this before that it worked? Oh, that looks promising. Bear with. I don't have a tool for tightening up this lamp. It's a Redgrass Games lamp. I love it. I'm actually shooting between the two bulbs right now, or the two like light lenses. Is that the word I'm looking for? Okay, now I can like hold this up and do stuff with it. It's probably smaller on screen, but it feels less claustrophobic to me because before I didn't have much room between the light/camera and the model. Okay, that's maybe a little better. 9 people. Hello, 9 people. Hope everyone said hello in the chat. So I think that's the rundown of the bits I used. Oh, and I took the little like neuro cysts from the back of a Neuro Tyrant and shoved them in these holes here. I had to open the holes a little bit, or cut them down a bit, because it has these natural holes where it's like, that's like a vent, and then there's a vent piece you're supposed to attach here. So I put those in the holes. They fit pretty well, just maximum brain matter. And yeah. And then I've got wings here, but I've been cursing these wings in various posts because the existing wings on the Hive Crone are very small. I've never loved how small they are. So they end here. I haven't cut these at all. And then what I did is I extended these with pieces from the Tomb King's dragon thing, because I love punishment. And I basically use these as I could have just put a piece of brass rod in there and put hooks on the end, but I thought I was going to use more of them than I did. But as I always did, I basically used them as armatures, and I just sculpted over them, which is fantastic. So it was tough getting these in here. You can see it more on this side, where I cut these pieces to roughly the right shape, and then put them in, and they were like just not even tension. They were just like resting on pieces, and just plowed a bunch of super glue in to hold them. And then I went in with pure Greenstuff to reinforce them, because Greenstuff itself is very rubbery. I didn't want to like crack where I was reinforcing the joint between them. So you can see the more reinforcing I did here. Oh, ouch. Oh, don't break that. That's a very expensive bit. These blobs of Greenstuff, this is pure Greenstuff because it's flexible and rubbery. And then I went in with a mix of Greenstuff and epoxy sculpt to sculpt in the details here. Yeah, so I gotta do that same layer here, fill in some gaps where I thought I was gonna cut out the membranes, and I realized that was a bad idea. And add some like hand claws to the tops here, because I cut off the original bits. But that's for later. Right now we gotta do some neck. What's going on in the chat? Quality is fine on phone, but not the best on TV. Clear enough. Hi, Dan. Tom, your little woodland gribblies are lovely. Yes, Tom's sculpting some plants, which look great. Guard your privacy, abide by our community guidelines. Okay, sure. Cheers, Dan. What do you take for a conversion? What do you take? Oh, how much do I charge for a conversion this size? God, what did I charge? I think it's between 800 and 1,000 US, because there is a decent amount of sculpting and sweat and tears that go into this. Basically, the larger the conversion, the larger the price. And you know what? I set that price before I decided to extend the wings, and this has been a nightmare. So I'm definitely earning my keep on this one. But it's not like I charge based on the commission. So there's also a factor of I don't do this full time. I do this in my spare time. So if I want to work on something with time that I would normally be able to dedicate to my own stuff, and it's a really interesting conversion, I'm more, oh God, there's the problem. If it's a really interesting conversion, I'm more into it. If it's not an interesting conversion, if you're like, make me a Space Marine, I'm going to charge you more because it's not something that I naturally want to do. Hello, Technician Sourwell. That's a really great name. Welcome. I don't think we've seen you on stream before. What do I think of the Malstrain? That is a very good question. And I intend to answer that question in a video, because I'm very lucky, and I have a very lovely, friendly local gaming store near me who thinks I'm cool and thinks my YouTube is cool and has offered to give me one of the new Necromunda boxes. However, I'm away right now, and it arrived on my first day that I was away, so I haven't been able to go pick it up. So I will be getting into that in detail. I'm going to crack open those kits. I'm going to look at the Malstrain versus the new Gene Stealers versus old Gene Stealers, and see what I see. But my initial strain before I even just from the pictures was that I'm really glad that I feel very fortunate that Tyranids are getting 2 Gene Stealer kits within a year of each other, less than a year of each other. I think that is super amazing. And also in a year that we got, that one Gene Stealer cult release was not amazing. I do not love the Benefictus. I think that it's a bit lazy in terms of sculpting, not very interesting. But it's cool that Tyranid Codex comes out, Gene Stealer Codex comes out, new model for the Gene Stealer cult, even though it's not amazing. But then my view is that the Malstrains are the real new models for the Gene Stealer cult. You can use them for Tyranids, you can use them for whatever. Those are the cool models that we got for the Gene Stealer cult, even if the Benefictus is not amazing. So I'm glad to have them, I guess, is my long story short. My TLDR on that is I'm glad to have them, even if the mouse strain are a little weird, and I got to see them in person before I can really judge, I'm glad to have something weird for Tyranids, because I always loved the weird stuff that Games Workshop did in Underworlds for Fantasy, or for Age of Sigmar. I loved the weird stuff they did in Warcry, where they used that as basically a playground to come up with cool new ideas and cool new humanoid chaos models. And I wanted more of that in 40k. So I'm very happy that hopefully this is like the first step of Necromunda. Hot tip for sculpting. If you haven't seen it on my channel before, use Nivea. Lubricate your tools. It puts the lotion on its tools. It gets the hose. Yeah, so I'm really happy that we have the mouse strains. Hopefully Necromunda continues to be a kind of like playground setting where GW makes cool stuff that they don't have to make a whole army book for, because I'd love to see more of that in 40k like we see in the fantasy setting. And that's what the mouse strains feel like to me. It's an opportunity to do something weird and new with Tyranids without having to worry about fitting it into a codex. As I make this, I think about how this is supposed to be a flyer, and it's supposed to mount on a flying base, and I'm very aware of how much putty I'm adding to this thing because I don't want to make it too heavy. So I worry I should have put more aluminum foil in the neck. In fact, I can probably add some now to bulk it up so I don't have to do so much with pure Greenstuff, which is heavier than aluminum foil. Ugh. Tom and Diana, thanks. I'm glad you, and Dan, I'm glad you guys could join, even though this is a weird time. Dan, does the U.S. have a holiday? No, wait. You guys probably had a holiday last weekend, right? Because here in my part of Canada, we had a holiday last weekend, like a bank holiday or whatever. Oh, no, it wasn't a Friday. It was a Sunday. Sorry, Monday. So this is a Friday, and this is pretty early for Dan. So I'm glad you're able to join. And Diana and Tom, you guys are in the UK, so I guess this is. Oh yeah, let me know in the chat if you're watching this. Let me know where you're tuning in from, especially folks who we haven't seen before, like Draco Meteors and what is it? South Technician. Technician Sourwell. Let us know where you're coming in from. Fenris. Wait, that's not Fenris Workshop. Fenris is I would say Fenris Workshop. Although I do like the name Fenris. For a time, I wanted my Hive Fleet to be Hive Fleet Fenrir, until I learned more about Space Wolf fluff and learned that they had the corner on the market for Fenrir. Because I thought the story of Fenrir going after Odin in Ragnarok was a good stand-in for Tyranids going after the Emperor when it came down to the short strokes and the cosmic conflict. So Fenris has always been a good name for me. And I know Tom likes Fenris because he likes Space Wolves. What's interesting is they haven't, like, Games Workshop hasn't done their, like, IP fortification thing with Space Wolves and Dark Angels. That those are, I don't know if you can, maybe you can copyright those names, but they sound like names that you can't necessarily copyright. So I'm surprised they didn't change them to something like Adeptus, Astartes, or I don't know, something more copyrightable. It's just a random reflection. Oh, Draco Meteors is from the weird place where Hydra lives. Welcome, Guten Tag from Germany. Draco Meteors, are you someone who I met when I was in Germany, or have we not met? Because I was in Germany in April playing a Frostgrave tournament with Hydra and his buddies, and I don't recognize the name Draco Meteors, but I guess we could have maybe met. Fenris Games, is that? Oh no, so Fenris Workshop. So yeah, good point, Tom. So I am very fortunate that Fenris Workshop set up a affiliate link for me, so you can find that link in, well, it won't be in the description of this video, but if you go and look at the previous, I'll add it to the description of this video. But if you want to support the channel and you live in North America, especially if you live in Canada, you can support the channel by using my affiliate link with Fenris Workshop, and that, it's already been super helpful. A lot of you are already doing that, and I actually get, because I try not to buy that much stuff, I try to use stuff that I already have, I get more Fenris credit than I can use, so that's super helpful. Like, it's the case that when I want to buy something, I go into my Fenris Workshop account, I'm like, wow, people have been really generous in using the affiliate link to support the channel. And literally that's just you buying stuff you want to buy anyway. And it doesn't cost you anymore. In fact, it costs you less because Fenris is cheaper than Games Workshop. And if you're a first-time customer at Fenris Workshop, you can use my code pink-fenris on your first order, only your first order, to get an additional, I think it's an additional 10% off. So that's a good deal. And it supports the channel. So yeah, that's Fenris Workshop. And Fenris Workshop did not offer to send me the strain with box with the mouse strain in it. It was my local, friendly local gaming store, literally local. It's about a 10-minute drive from my house, 15 minutes maybe. Wheels and Wings Hobbies in Toronto on the Danforth. And I'm currently editing a much larger video, or a long video about Wheels and Wings Hobbies. I think I've mentioned it on the stream before, because I asked folks like what video they wanted me to work on next. And folks chose a video about my local hobby shop. So that is who set up a box for me, because they're lovely. And I'm going to be doing a whole video on them soon, because it's not just like, hey, look at my hobby shop, look at the cool toys they have. They have a really interesting origin story in that they are a multi-generational hobby shop that was started by the current owner's mother, who has since sadly passed away, because they've been in business for like 20, 30 years. I will have to figure that out by the time I make the video. I have it all in interviews. So I was able to interview the current owner, a guy by the name of Don, who's super, super kind. Like, I was literally in there on Tuesday, picking up the latest issue of White Dwarf. Oh, we'll talk about that in a second. And so the shop started off as a shop that sold scale model kits, like planes and tanks and boats and stuff like that. But then the cool thing about them is that they didn't want to get like pigeonholed as like a scale model shop, and they didn't want to scare off people who weren't into scale models. So they got into Warhammer, and like they were into Warhammer for a while, but like the only reason they got out of Warhammer for a time was that Games Workshop made it prohibitive for companies to stock it. Like they had certain requirements, and it was also the case that the Games Workshop in Toronto moved to a very easily accessible location by transit, whereas this hobby shop was not as, like, it was on a transit line, but it wasn't like right downtown in like our main shopping center. So they lost a lot of business to people going to Games Workshop to buy stuff, and they stopped carrying Warhammer for a time, but then they came back to it recently, which really surprised me, because I went there for like cool hobby tools and stuff like that, like everything, all the stuff that you can't get in Games Workshop. Like, I'm gonna do this in the video, but check out this. This is a razor saw. You can get that there. Check out this. This is a like scalpel, I don't know, holder or knife thing that I use now. You can get that there. Check out this. This is a chisel blade, which I use for a lot of my converting. You can get. I discovered that there. Check out this. This is a sickle blade. I discovered that there, and this is like really cool. So they have a lot of really amazing stuff. And I was going there with that stuff for years, and then recently they were like, "Oh, we're like," they reintroduced Games Workshop. I'm like, "Oh, you guys are carrying Games Workshop?" And I discovered when I was interviewing the owner, they always wanted to carry Games Workshop. It just got too difficult for them to carry it because of like the setup that Games Workshop had in like the early 2000s, I think it was, / the competitiveness with the location of Games Workshop store. But they've since reintroduced it, and it has been going gangbusters for them. So they are going to be, they keep expanding their Games Workshop product, taking up more and more of the store. So, yeah. It's just cool to like talk to, sorry, I'm getting off topic, Don, the owner, because while I was in there picking up this White Dwarf, he has a bunch of old airplane like scale model kits that he had in a storage unit here in Toronto. And if you know anything about Toronto, we've been getting a lot of rain lately. Hashtag global warming, climate change. And there's been a lot of like issues with flooding, and sadly his storage unit got flooded. And it didn't destroy the kits, but it basically ruined the fact that they were new in box, because they are now soggy in box. And instead of like freaking out, he's just like, well, you know what? We're going to bring these into the store, and we're going to sell them discounted to folks, because if people still want them, like, it's better to sell them for something so the community can have them. And the point of the story, while I was in there, I kind of like maybe in his late teenage, early 20s person came up to Don and was saying like, oh yeah, I want to buy this like kit, this this damaged kit. And like Don's the kind of guy where like if a young person comes in there, he just gives them stuff for free. Like if a kid is in there with their parent and the parent's buying Warhammer, Don just gives the kid Pokemon cards. He's like, here, have these. You should have something too. Or he'll like give the kid like a Pokemon like model kit. I didn't know such things existed, but they do. So he's a pretty awesome guy like that. So this kid comes up to him and he says, I want to buy this. How much is it? Emphasis on the word buy. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. And it's because Don's like, no, you can just have it. And he's like, no, I want to buy this. And then Don turns to me and he tells the story. He's like, I remember the first time this kid came in here, he was with his dad and he was buying something. And I said to the kid, like, this is when he was much younger. I said to this young person, are you buying this with your money or are you buying this with your dad's money? And he said, oh no, it's my money. It's like money that I saved or whatever. And he's like, okay, you get a discount then because it's your money. So that's the kind of guy that Don is. Don's a really chill dude. And like this kid is now like a young adult or a late teenage young adult. He's now come back to the store and he's telling Don in no uncertain terms, I am buying this from you. You are not giving it to me. You've already given me enough charity. So I just think that's really cool. I think that that's how hobby shops should be. And that's why I want to, in fact, I'm really glad that happened because I wasn't exactly struggling with what I was going to say in the video. But I think that's probably a cool story to tell in the video, just as like an illustration of like how the hobby shop works. Because when I talked to Don, he like shared the part where he's like, oh yeah, if little kids come in here, I want to like give them stuff. Like I want to get them into the hobby. And you might be like, yeah, okay, astute business acumen, getting people addicted to your store and buying stuff from you, which, you know, that helps. But it's also the case that the way Don tells it, he wants hobbying, he wants model making and stuff like that to continue. He doesn't want it to be like taken out by like screens and stuff like that. And like as we do more and more digital entertainment and digital hobbies like gaming or whatever, he doesn't want that to cannibalize the hobby community. And he wants young people to still be into like making models, building things, converting things, painting things. So he sees it as an investment in the future of the community to be generous in this way. And I love that. I'm a big fan of generosity in these spaces. So I was really impressed. I already thought his shop was cool. I hadn't met him until I conceived to like create this video. And then I met him for that. And he just turned out to be exactly what I'd hoped for the owner of such a shop. Because before they brought the Warhammer stuff back, and when they brought the Warhammer stuff back, he also decided he wanted to get into Gunpla, like Gundam stuff, and like Pokemon cards and stuff, because he knew that that was where a new audience lay, and that was where the kind of stuff that like younger hobbyists were into, and he wanted them to be welcome in the store and like be drawn to the store. So yeah, he got into, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, before he got into Gundam and before he got back into Warhammer and before I had the chance to actually talk to him, I think in my head I pictured the store being a certain way because the majority of it is scale models. Like there is a phenomenal, as I tried to illustrate with these guys, and I'll do more of that in the video, there's a phenomenal tool section in this store. It is the best tool section I've seen in Toronto. Like Meeple Mart tries to play, but it's like so much better than Meeple Mart. And like you can get sheet styrene thing, like we colloquially refer to it as plasticard. Oh, plasticard. This kind of stuff that I used to extend the wings. You can get this kind of stuff at Wheels and Wings Hobbies. I used to have to go to a model train store locally that closed to get that stuff because no one else carried it. And Games Workshop certainly doesn't carry it. And like a place like, people who don't live here don't care about Meeple Mart, but Meeple Mart is a place that sells board games. And they do board games, they do some miniature games, but it's mostly focused on the gaming side. Like they'll sell like the occasional tube of Greenstuff, although it's rarely in stock. But they're not going to sell you like a variety of different blades. They're just going to sell you whatever blade tool, like, I don't know, Army Painter sells. Or they're going to sell you like, there's one pin vise. But you have like options at Wheels and Wings. You have multiple different kinds of tools. So I was already sold on the tools there, and I would go in for that. But I think I had a vision in my mind of what kind of clientele went to this place and what kind of person ran it because it was scale models. I pictured it as being old school, because to me that's like an old school hobby. Pejorative, I know. Well, not pejorative, but judgmental, I know. But it was cool to see that, though it came from a place, an old school hobby, it's run by someone who wants it to stay current and wants to, yeah, welcome new audiences, bring in new products. And like, I was already a return customer for the tools, but now they carry the models I want to, and they have so many paints. Like, they had a really good selection of paints. Like, they have like AK, they have Revell, they have Army Painter, obviously, Army Painter, Vallejo, like the ones you'd expect. But then I was like, oh man, like it would be so cool if they carried Monument paints, because I love Pro Acryl, that's my favorite paint line, both for their packaging and for their coverage. So I was like, oh, it'd be so great if they carried that. But I didn't want to like go to them and be like, hey, can you guys get this in? Because like they have 1,000 different, not 1,000. They have not as many paints as like Sunward, is it Sunward or Sunrise Hobbies in Toronto. But I didn't want to like be like, hey, can you guys get this paint for me? Because like I want this one kind of paint, and they're like already stocking like tons and tons of paint. And, like, how much paint am I really gonna buy? Because I've already bought up a bunch of Pro Acryl. But I just went in there one day and they just had them. They're just like, oh yeah, you know, like someone asked for them, so we got them. And yeah, it was just so much good stuff there, in addition to the models that I want to buy and all the tools I want to buy, because I'm converting, so I need to do more like work on the models, cutting, drilling, all that kind of stuff. Where the hell am I going with the story? They're awesome. Wheels and Wings is amazing. I'm going to do a video about it. Oh, also, I think I mentioned this on a previous stream, but in case you're just tuning in, or you're like not from Toronto, you're like, why the hell do I care about your stupid hobby shop in Toronto, a place on the other side of the world that I'm never going to visit? Hobby shop Wheels and Wings was recently written up in one of our biggest local newspapers as one of Guillermo del Toro's favorite places in Toronto, because Guillermo del Toro, maker of Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth, Pinocchio recently, currently working on Frankenstein, he is a big nerd, and he does hobby stuff. So he talks about all kinds of different things like bookshops, movie shops that he likes in Toronto, restaurants. But he made sure to mention his favorite hobby shop in Toronto, and lo and behold, it was Wheels and Wings. And he said not only is it the greatest hobby shop in Toronto, it may be one of the greatest hobby shops in North America and the world. So that could be, you know, a little bit of exaggeration. But it could also be the case that he actually believes that. So that you got to believe that that's going to be my hook for my video when I make it. I'm going to be like, oh, check out Guillermo del Toro's favorite hobby shop in North America, maybe the world. And you got to believe that I've already got like a title card done up. It might show him as a Space Marine, because, you know, Space Marines get clicks. But yeah. So you can look forward to that soon. I got to edit it up. But I'm feeling pressure to get it edited up because they're giving me like this amazing Hive Secunda's box. When I was in there on Tuesday, Don, aforementioned super kind owner who gives stuff away for free, he's like, yo, you got to see this. You got to see this. I'm like, what? He's like, you got to put this on your channel. You got to like review this. And it was AK. I don't think they invented this. I think they probably just, someone else invented it and they just did their version of it. And now we're seeing it. But AK Interactive, who I don't love, who I don't recommend as a company because they do weird shit, they created a line of paint markers. So it's like a felt tip marker sort of thing that you can use it to paint with. And I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And then like I started playing with it, and I was like, oh, and the one he handed me just happened to be turquoise. And if you know anything about my Tyranids, like they are turquoise. High Fleet Anger Boda, shout out High Fleet Anger Boda. There's a lot of turquoise on them. And I just was messing with it, and I thought like, whoa, maybe I could use this marker to do like the striations on the edge of the carapace plates, which is one of the most annoying things. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, well, okay, maybe I'll buy this and like see if I like it. And then Don's like, no, have it. I'm like, what? He's like, take it. You're gonna have it on your channel, right? You're gonna talk about it on your channel. You're gonna review it. You take it. I'm like, thanks. He's like, yeah, you want anything? You want to try anything out? You just let us know and we'll get it for you. And I'm like, whoa, thanks, Don. You're super generous. So yeah, even when I was there trying to spend money buying 3 White Dwarfs, for reasons I'll explain in a second, 3 copies of White Dwarf 502, Don was still trying to give me free stuff for me to use or review or whatever. So he's a super generous dude. It's an amazing hobby shop. He's an older dude. He said he almost threw, I'm not going to spoil everything in the video. He said he almost threw in the towel, but then he found a way to keep it going. That was during the pandemic, and I'm really glad he did, because we need more Don in hobby spaces. That's how you keep people in the hobby. That's how you keep it growing and alive. You give stuff away for free. Like I give away my sculpting tutorials for free here on YouTube. You don't got to be a Patreon to see them because I got the stuff for free from other people, and you got to give it away for free. Don't have to make money on everything. Anyway, I should go in the chat because I've been blabbering my mouth off for a while here. I'm sure Nora's thrilled as she's trying to have lunch here while I'm talking to myself and sculpting. What am I doing? What tool do I need? God, I'm sweating. I gotta fix my fan. Oh, my fan is not even blowing on me. All right, I'm gonna fix my fan and I'll check the chat. That's why I'm so hot. Oh, that might mess up the mic, but we'll see. The crappy mic on my phone. If you're just tuning in, this video is not great because I'm using my phone mic, but thank you, Draco Meteors. I did forget Pacific Rim when I was mentioning Guillermo del Toro. And you know what, Draco, Pacific Rim was filmed in Toronto. Mostly on like sound stages. But the one scene, I can't remember her name, the Japanese pilot, where she's a little kid and she's like in a city and like the kaiju comes and it's like destroying stuff and she almost gets killed. That is downtown Toronto, right behind our city hall. They dressed it up to make it look like Tokyo. So yes, Pacific Rim was filmed in Toronto as well. And the reason Guillermo del Toro has a favorite hobby shop in Toronto is that he likes making movies here in Toronto and city down the road called Hamilton. Yeah, he made Pacific Rim at least partially in Toronto.
Tom says hi.
Nora has come. Apparently, you're going to read me the chat?
Wait, how did you know I was here, Tom?
I said that you were eating lunch. I said you probably don't
was.
enjoy me talking to myself.
Oh, my lunch was amazing.
Yeah. Nora was like, hey, I'm going to make some chicken burgers. And I'm like, well, I'm sculpting and I'm not that hungry. She's like, you're going to be hungry when you smell them.
I hope you were starving. Well,
I'm starving. Them. Man, I'm gonna eat this green stuff. It looks so appetizing now.
It was chicken burgers and like a beet, goat feta.
Oh, your amazing salad from last night.
Damn.
I'm a lucky
amazing.
boy. Thanks for, you're gonna join Nora for a little bit. Help me out with the chat.
Heard you cough. Hope you're okay. Oh, that's so sweet, Diana. No, I'm totally fine. I've just got like weird phlegmy stuff because I had a delicious chicken burger. Maybe that was TMI, but like that happens. Sometimes you're just like, eat the burger, it's so delicious, and then you're like, I'm fine.
I'll be fine. Keep
I'll
eating.
Be fine. It was so good. Yeah. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all keeping well. Congrats again to Hydra.
Hydra's not here.
Oh, okay.
I'm literally doing this without Hydra or Flynn.
Little BB Hydra.
And Hydra has told me he never watches streams if he's not on them.
So he'll never hear this.
He claims he gets frustrated. He claims that he's watching the stream recording, and then he's like, oh, I want to comment, but I can't comment because it's not live. So he claims he gets frustrated by them, and that's why he doesn't tune in when he's not there. Mm-hmm. But really, maybe he's just tired of our shit.
I like that you were talking about Wheels and Wings. That was very sweet. Was
that interesting for you?
That was really cool. Yeah, I learned a lot about the owner as well.
He's super sweet. You love Don. He's like this little, like, gray-haired dude, wiry, like...
So, like, what you'll be when you're old?
Hopefully. God, if I could be, like, 1/10 of what Don is when I'm old, I would be living a happy life.
You build a relationship with him, you never know.
Well, he's got some folks he's handing the torch on to, and I'm trying to build a relationship with them, but we'll see. I don't know if they're exact same vibes as Don, but here's hoping.
And yes, Diana, I also aspirate at least once a week on my own spit.
On deliciousness.
On my own spit, usually. Not even a nice drink. So we're in good company.
So you know Tom. You met Tom in person.
I did.
Tom is one of the only people to have ever met Nora in reality.
Oh.
Tom Wilson.
Tom knows.
Tom knows the secrets.
We made Tom sign an NDA.
Yes.
Me, so
yes. We do not
if you wanna,
publicize Nora on the internet.
Person, it'll have to be through official Modern Synthesis channel.
Have to be by showing up at Warhammer World for our random visit.
That's right. In the UK. No, it was great to meet Tom. And
so Diana is Tom's wife?
Yes,
Partner.
I know.
Wife. Yes, I believe.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I remember.
Okay, just making sure. Well, Diana was not there, so I just wanted to check.
Yeah, no, you talked about her in very flattering
Unfortunately,
terms.
she was unable to join us.
I remember.
Because Diana is always the one who reminds us to tell everyone to like and subscribe to the channel on the streams.
Oh,
so she's
that's
awesome.
so sweet. That's really, really nice. Every 30 cents that Modern Synthesis earns through this channel helps towards Ripley's food fund.
There we go. And yes, though this stream, if this is your first stream, this is not how we normally do things. I'm literally doing this on my phone, balanced on my work lamp above my workspace. Normally we've got a fancy shiny Nikon mirrorless camera setup, but I didn't bring the right cables.
Well,
So
I don't know. I think it's a pretty good compromise because you're, looking at some sweet lake situation.
Yeah.
And trees. So.
Yeah, if you miss the sweet, well, I guess, this might screw everything up, but if you miss the Sweet Lake setup, this is why we have a weird setup today, because I'm in the great, well, I guess I'm looking at my model right now. I can't really look out. But when I get bored and I look out, look, there's like a sauna over there. This is what I'm looking at. Some pretty
Hopefully no one can
Canadian
find that through
stuff.
Google Maps.
This is not on Google Maps, I guarantee. Yeah, so that's why we got our janky setup this week. But better janky stream than no stream. All that is to say that make sure you look at the previous stream, that live stream I did, by looking at the live tab on the channel, and that's what we normally get up to with high quality video.
Yeah, Diana, the view is pretty stunning. Right now we've got the pitter patter of rain against the lake. It was pretty rainy and heavy this morning. And it was followed by a bunch of loon calls. And I don't know if many of you have heard what a loon sounds like, but it's pretty gorgeous, like the sound of it and the call that it makes. It's like a very iconic, like,
it's been described as
Canadian
mournful.
bird.
Like it's kind of, no, like not like sad and depressing, but it's a mournful cry.
Yeah, well,
To get
I don't
paint a
know if
picture in
it's
your head.
mournful. It's very existential.
Existential, look at you.
Existential cry.
It,
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree, but
I think so. It's a little bit existential.
oh, Ripley
so.
wants to be involved too.
Yes, he does. But yeah, there was some loons, and then we saw a pair of ducks, like a mallard and
We did?
the female companion,
I don't remember seeing ducks.
or maybe the female duck and her male companion. And yeah, it's still pitter pattering, and right now Ripley is desperately trying to claw upon me, which is a little
Par for the
distracting.
corpse. Par for the course.
And he
Not the
does
corpse.
this thing where he's desperate to leave the screen-in porch. We think, oh, this is great. He's going to go run around and entertain himself and not require us to be down there. But no, we open the door, and then he runs down to the deck, and he just sits there, the dock, and then he just sits there towards us, looking up, and we engage in a sort of staring contest until whoever breaks and decides, usually us, because we're so tired of just staring at him and him staring
Well,
at us.
and him sitting out lonely
we
in the
just go
rain
down.
for 30 minutes,
Now
getting
that is
soaked, sitting on the
mournful.
dock.
That is mournful.
There you go. I don't know. I feel like if he was mournful, he'd come up.
So we take pity on him.
I think he's
and then-
hopeful.
He's hopeful, yeah, but it's impressive, like how long he'll just sit in the rain for, and it's raining on him, and he's just staring at us with those big sad eyes.
Popeyes.
And then we're like, all right, and then we get down and throw the ball around, and then all's well. Male ducks are
Yeah.
monsters.
They
Tom
are.
says.
This is true. We know about that, right? We
Yes.
saw it. Didn't we see it? We were in
Oh my
Italy.
gosh,
Didn't we see a
it
duck
was-
trying to, like,
Yes, there was this
not
one-
asking for
I
consent?
don't know if it's an Italian male duck or just a duck that happens to be in Italy, but it was aggressively going after this female. No, actually, a few of them are going after the female duck.
Yeah.
It was in Florence. I was not prepared to see that.
Stereotypically Italian.
Okay, hopefully there are no Italians here.
All right, dropping some more knowledge on you. Got to get some more green stuff because I'm running out. Oh, careful. Store my green stuff in glass jars. I have a video called "You're Storing Green Stuff Wrong" on the channel. It is so it doesn't go bad, and also you don't want to store it in strips ever because not only does the yellow react with the blue if they're in contact. Fun fact: the plastic wrap that they store the yellow in reacts with the yellow. If you ever had your green stuff have weird bits in it, those bits are probably yellow, and it's because the plastic wrap is not ideal. So when you get green stuff, the first thing you want to do is take it out of the plastic wrap. If you have to buy it in a ribbon, separate it, the blue from the yellow, and if you're obsessive like me, cut out the section in the middle where the two are touching, like do a very thin cut, and keep that aside for random filler or whatever, and then take the pristine yellow and put it in one glass jar, the pristine blue and put it in one other glass jar, airtight. Yes, glass, not plastic, because just like the plastic wrap on the yellow can react with the yellow, certain kinds of BPA, I don't know, plastic jars can react with it. Like I've stored yellow inside a plastic jar before, and it started getting hard on the outside. There you go. Don't say anything untoward. She's typing for me. I'm worried. Okay. So get a little blue. Get a little yellow. These are just like mason jars. I think they're 250 mil. They're probably measured in quarts or something. But yeah, they're pretty good because they have. You want the wide opening and not too tall, because if you get like a big mason jar, you put your green stuff in it, and you're trying to get your tool down in the bottom of a big jar, it's not going to go well for you. So I chose the smallest mason jars I could find. Okay. Oh man, sticky. Oh, wet your fingers when you're getting out green stuff so that doesn't stick to them. There's that. And then the other part that I add to this is Aves Epoxy Sculpt, A and B parts. This stuff's cheaper than green stuff, and it's actually a little harder than green stuff. It's more sandable. And because it's cheaper than green stuff, you can mix it with green stuff to make your green stuff go further. So I take a little more of this than the green. And the two just impart their properties onto each other in a really pleasing way. It is also stored in glass jars for the same reason, so it doesn't go bad. What are you typing? Lee has now successfully climbed top Nora and is on duck watch. There you go.
Since this is wow, I'm losing my voice here. So that's a perfect use for glass jars.
What?
Whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
I agree. Another perfect use for
Wait,
glass
goo
jars.
says goo jars. Maybe goo jars
Oh,
are something
goo
we don't know about.
jars.
What are goo jars,
Oh.
Diana?
Diana, yeah, let us know what goo jars are. Kibash Carnage. See you're on, just pop on to say hi and hit that like button.
Hello, Kit Bash Carnage.
Hope
Welcome.
all is well, and also all in the chat. Fire emoji, rock on emoji, heart emoji.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Nice, thank you.
All right, this neck's going pretty well.
I don't know if I've told the story of one time when you were working on models and I was eating like crepes or something like that, and somehow your hand touched mine, and I thought that there was some whipping cream on my hand.
Oh, shit.
And it was actually a bunch of Nivea.
Yeah.
And I
This was
licked it,
last weekend at the cottage.
and I almost threw up.
I came to the table from
Almost threw up.
sculpting because I keep my Nivea for my lubricating my tools in the back of my hand like this, and I had it still on the back of my hand, and maybe Nora came over and like bumped my hand or something, and yeah, I smeared some of the Nivea onto her hand, but we also had whipped cream because we were having crepes, so she ate it. Man, that's dedication to the cause. I haven't even eaten Nivea.
Yeah, I had to wash my mouth out several times.
Hopefully not with soap.
Yeah. Good for building models, not great for ingestion.
Yeah, don't eat your Nivea. Don't lick your models.
Dana says the goo jars are desserts that come in glass jars that no one ever wants to get rid of but struggle to find uses for.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
So usually, I've seen them hold things like creme brulee.
Yeah. Or like,
little
do they have
cakes.
lids?
I don't know. I don't know if they have lids. Temporary lids, because you want to get inside them real quick.
Yeah, hopefully they have lids.
No lids. Draco Meteors has a lore question for you.
Yes.
What is your opinion on the theories that creatures on Catachan
Yep.
or the craft
You'd like
on
Catachan.
Fenris
There's a lot of creepy stuff on
being tyrannid organisms?
being tyrannid organisms. I like the idea of, because the thing that I like about like the Catachan Devil and the Krakens on Fenris, where the Space Wolves live, is I like the idea that when the Tyranids came to the Sol system, or whatever we're calling it in Warhammer land, that there were vanguard organisms other than gene sealers. That there were Tyranid organisms that preceded the Hive fleets, other than just the gene sealer stuff. or that there was like random Tyranids that wound up here. I mean, like, I also think that different planets should be able to have creepy monsters without it all having to be Tyranids all the time.
Also, welcome, Tyler.
Welcome, Tyler. Oh, is that Tyler Blevins?
Yeah.
Sweet. Good to see you, buddy.
Sorry to miss so many streams. Happy to catch one live.
Don't worry. This is a weird time. So apparently this is the time we should be streaming for Tyler. Anyone who misses the streams, you don't have to apologize. I understand that we all live all over the world. We all have different schedules. I wouldn't be able to make the streams if I didn't budget my time for them, because the Friday streams usually happen when I'm working, at a time when I should be like finishing work. So I have to plan specifically for them so that I can meet up with my European friends who are on a different schedule. So you don't have to. But good to see you. And on the note of creepy critters, I think that there should be creepy critters on planets that don't have to be Tyranids to explain them. But I do also like the idea of there being like Tyranid vanguard organisms other than gene stealers that have made their inroads into the galactic core or whatever. And maybe they were like, oh, it's tagged. It's like, hold on, it's on.
Oh,
Where do you want
you
it?
just gotta move your arms.
Where do you want it? Yeah, I can move
You're
my
not
arms.
centered.
I'm not going to be centered. I'm not paying attention. So I like the idea that there are Tyranids who showed up here before the Hive fleets. Maybe there are Tyranids who got marooned here separate from the Hive fleets, and that they've had to adapt to the planets. But I don't want everything to be the explanation for everything to be Tyranid. Just like I don't want the explanation for everything in Star Wars to be Luke Skywalker or the Emperor. Like there should be stuff that happens in the universe that's separate from the Tyranids. But I think it's cool. I think it's cool the idea that like the Catachan Devil could be like a Tyranid organism of some kind that's gone native. I like the idea of Tyranids going native on a planet. Does that answer your question?
We'll find out.
So, Nora, you'd like the Catachan Devil. The Catachan Devil is basically a giant monster centipede that lives on the planet Catachan. I feel like that'd be right up your alley.
I should look this up. Also, Tom's wondering if you are coming to us from a room in Rick Priestley's holiday home.
No, because I'm not with the normal stream crew. If I had to come to you in a room from Rick Priestley's North American cottage mansion, it would be the screened-in porch, because that is literally where I am right now. But good point. We normally do that on stream. Because this isn't a real Creature Conference stream, I didn't think I had to do it, but now we've done it.
Oh my goodness, it looks like a centipede.
There you go. That's Catachan Devil. So people are like, is it a Tyranid or isn't it a Tyranid?
I mean, I don't think so.
No? Your opinion is not Nid?
Well, according to your very strict definition of what qualifies as a Tyranid, it's definitely not a Tyranid.
One of those videos I actually got it wrong.
Draco says, yeah, it answers my question.
Yeah, what does Draco feel? How does
By the
Draco
way,
feel about them?
I am currently working on catching devils as super heavies
Sweet.
for my catching army.
Oh, that's cool. They're like, so you know so Nora speaks Tacticus. You know the Astra Militarum, Nora?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't say that that's I wouldn't say that's necessarily a realistic impression of the Catachan Devil because it just looks like a giant scorpion.
I'm just Googling some stuff and he's looking at the laptop and telling me one of the pictures I'm looking at does not look like a Catachan Devil.
Well, it's not how I would describe it. I can show you my favorite art for it if you want.
That's
But
fine. I feel like the one that I'm looking at doesn't have enough legs. Looks a little like a T-Rex with very long
I think
legs.
Flinhammer made one. I think he converted a Catachan Devil with a bunch of Tyranid bits.
Yeah.
I think his had a lot of legs. Yeah, so a Catachan army is Astra Militarum, but they all look like Rambo. They're jungle fighters. Whereas the ones that you know are called Cadians
Right.
from the Tacticus game.
Things are boring. Oh, did I just say that loud?
You're allowed. Human factions are generally boring. The cool thing about Cadians, though, is that they're just normal humans. They're weak. They're not like super space marines.
Catachans look like the
Rambo.
stereotype of American fighters in the jungle
Of Vietnam.
in Vietnam, but all jacked.
Yeah, so this is... Warhammer was based on stereotypes when they created it.
Really?
Yes!
Oh my god!
Oh
I
my
didn't know
goodness. Knowledge bomb.
that. Warhammer, hashtag common stereotype.
Common stereotype tropes. I mean, Space Elves might have been new. I don't know if people had done Space Elves before.
I'm looking up space.
Take any movies that were popular in the 80s, and that's where Warhammer came from.
Anyone watch any good horror films lately?
Yeah, Nora's into horror. Hit her up with your recommendations.
Have you mentioned this on the chat before?
I don't know. We're thinking about watching Oddity,
Mm-hmm.
although I'm saying I don't want to watch Oddity at the cottage because I think that would be terrifying. She's like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, if anyone knows where to find it streaming,
Well, it'll be different in different countries, right?
DM us. Yeah, I want to watch Oddity. It just came out in 2024. It's this woman who is also a twin is murdered in this like cottage home.
I think it's
and
like a
then
mansion.
Her psychic medium twin, also slash antique dealer,
Isn't she blind?
brings out she's blind and she reads objects for information, and she uses like objects to help unearth who the actual killer was of her sister. It's all big creepy vibes. And while we're thinking about horror films, Jericho says my catching devils are giant scorpions, using the scorpion bugs from Starship Troopers as base.
I don't know the scorpion bugs from Starship Troopers.
Still unsure if I should base the scheme on my hive fleet.
What I would it's not what you should do. My thoughts, if you'd like my thoughts, if you're thinking, if you have a hive fleet and you're doing Catachin Devils and you're wondering if you should base your scheme on your hive fleet, I think that the best answer is not a direct link, but a what's the word I'm looking for? Ambiguous. Be ambiguous about it. So maybe go with a scheme that looks maybe similar to your hive fleet, but not exactly like it. Whereas like someone would look at the two models and be like, wait, are those related? Like a suggestion that they could be related, but not like right straight link. Because then it plays with the ambiguity around whether these are Tyranid organisms or not. Instead of being like, yes, this is a Tyranid organism. So if you were to choose like to just use your hive fleet scheme straight up, that's to me like saying, yes, these are definitely Tyranid organisms. But I think as with like H.P. Lovecraft, yes, he's a racist, but he wrote some engaging stories. Where the beauty of H.P. Lovecraft is that he never fully describes things. It's like ambiguous, and you're left to like puzzle it out for yourself. I think that sticks with people a lot more than. Was it a Neil Gaiman quote, or did Neil Gaiman quote someone where it's like, it's with Cain and Abel in Sandman, the comic graphic novel.
So let's look up the scorpion plasma bug. I love the chunky design. That's what a living tank should look.
Can you check that out for me, Nora? I don't remember that. I know the plasma bug. I don't remember the scorpion plasma bug. But I did watch Razak's Roughnecks, so I might like have forgotten about it. It may come back to me as soon as I see it. So yeah, there's this quotation in Sandman where it's like Cain and Abel in the dreaming, and I think Cain has killed Abel for like the 15th time or something, because Abel tells this, and the quote is something like, it's the mystery that persists and not. God, how does it? It's something about a scorpion plasma bug. That's a really wicked bug. I really like that. Yeah, so it's the mystery that persists, not the secret. Don't tell people the secret. Tell them about the mystery, and they'll wonder about the mystery. So that's how I feel about hive fleets and Catachin Devil. I like the suggestion that they could be related, but I don't want anyone to give me an answer, because I want to puzzle it out. I want the questioning. I think that's more impactful than giving the answer. And that's how I feel about your ambiguous color scheme that may be your hive fleet and may not be. Okay. So what is everyone working on? And has anyone laid claws on the mouse strains yet? I'd be interested to know your thoughts if you've actually held them in your hands, because I have not yet. was
Which
that?
is a general comment around the fear of the unknown. So it's fear of the unknown, strong stuff.
Oh, is there a Lovecraft documentary called Fear of the Unknown?
I think so.
Look at you, cross-referencing things on the internet.
Tyler says, so that's something I missed from the old mid codexes. There's so many alternative color scheme ideas.
Yes, they did some cool ones with this. There's like those weird ones that look impossible to paint, which like with like multiple colors blending into one another. Certainly.
Mission Sarwell says, loved that cartoon.
Oh, Raise X Refnex. It was they did a computer animated cartoon based on Starship Troopers, and it was actually very good. Like it was not as goofy as Starship Troopers.
Electro Dust Bunny says hi.
Oh, Electro Dust Bunny, hello, welcome. I feel like, oh no, Electro Dust Bunny, I believe, I thought Electro Dust Bunny was coming from Italy, but no, I believe they're in Mexico.
Now I'm like on some Reddit thread around movies that make you fear the unknown.
Oh, like what movies? Are the ones that we've seen that I would know?
Yes, most that we've seen. Annihilation.
Yeah, I was thinking Annihilation.
Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby. I haven't seen Rosemary's Baby.
Me neither.
I should watch it. Sounds
Clearly
like
we should watch that.
a classic.
I feel like when I was a kid, I might have been traumatized. People who've seen Rosemary's Baby, is there a scene in the back of a cab? There was some film that my friend's older brother was watching when I was a kid, and I think there's a woman giving birth in the back of a cab, and it's like there's like these terrifying like cries, and I remember like doing the thing you do as a kid, like sitting up on the stairs and like watching it like through the banister and like not actually being able to see it, and I just remember being terrified and not understanding what was happening. But I feel like I think that's Rosemary's Baby. I don't think it's actually the case.
Some other films was The Thing, Signs, It Follows, Hereditary.
Did you see It Follows?
I have not seen it.
I have not seen that either. Hereditary. Okay,
That's
that
quite good.
I officially respect this list because it has Hereditary on it.
Apparently there's a 90s film called Jacob's Ladder that's scary.
I've heard of that, but I've not seen it. What are people recommending? Anyone recommending anything? Or are we not with the horror crowd right now?
People are talking about what they're working on.
Oh, good. What are they working on?
Working on Mission Star was working on a mouse strain oil essence.
Oh, wow. What? Oh, okay. You're converting your own. I was going to say, that model's not out yet. Sweet. That's a really cool model to convert because there's like, it's so mutated that you can kind of have your way with it. Awesome. Hope it goes well. Also, Technician Sourwell, where is your name from? Is that a reference? I do not get it, but it's a cool name.
Tom's working on a tree.
Oh yeah, Tom is sculpting some leaves and
Rice
stuff.
is doing a Lord of Skulls.
Cool. That's the big corn thing, right? I think.
Yeah.
Big giant corn tanky thing.
Gideon, he's on there on the horror film conversation thread. Martyrs, the French one.
Martyrs.
I actually saw part of it.
What?
And that scarred me.
You did.
Yeah, I don't know how I came across
You
it.
find random stuff on the internet.
Probably.
It was probably
and
Reddit's
I think
fault.
That was one time where I actually deeply regretted looking into the film.
Oh God.
It's
What's it
pretty-
about?
I don't think you're ever gonna watch it.
I'm not gonna watch it, so tell me what it's about.
Really bad.
Bad? Like shocking?
It's shocking.
Not
It's
poorly
like shock
made, just
horror.
shocking.
No, it's
Oh.
like that kind of stuff. Okay, so anyone who doesn't want to hear this, just cover your ears. But basically,
Wait,
it's this.
here, I'm gonna put this here, and when this goes away, it means that Nora's done talking about the scary film. Here, I'm gonna put it like this.
I believe.
I'm gonna put it like this so it doesn't get in my
I'll
way.
just be really quick about it. So Martyrs is like a story about like, ultimately it's like this society that believes that there are a certain group of like that women or young girls are like most susceptible to being able to get a glimpse into the afterworld. So like post death, you
Afterlife?
have to be afterlife, and you have to be like very near death. So basically, they capture these girls and they abuse them to know like
What?
physically, emotionally, all that stuff.
Good lord.
And they find one girl is like super like susceptible to like seeing the afterlife and what it looks like. and it's all headed by this one old lady who like believes in this work and like backed by all these like wealthy patrons who want to know the secret. And the last thing that they do is they skin the girl.
What?
Yeah, and then
They show that on film?
Yeah, and then they get her to. She actually reaches that point of seeing the afterlife or whatnot, and she whispers it into the old lady's like ears.
Yeah.
And after the old lady hears it, like she can't share it with the patrons, and she like kills herself.
The old lady kills herself?
The old lady kills herself, I think, because
it's
the answer
so shocking.
is so shocking that humanity couldn't handle it or something.
Wow.
Okay, we're done.
All right, we're done. Get us out of here. That is pretty creepy.
Gideon says torture for divinity.
God.
Yeah. Draco, why did you watch it at 2 a.m.? Why? Oh my gosh. Alright, moving on. Tyler has been making a ton of Death Guard stuff. Converting
Cool.
up the vehicles, demon engines, plate marines. Moved recently, so I have to stop and start back up again.
Well, that's annoying.
Tom's gonna... Oh, we're talking about movies. Tom's gonna... Romulus. Yes, us too.
Oh, we gotta see
I'm
Romulus.
So excited. It's just basically gonna be another alien film, but it's fine. Electro Dust Bunny's working on their workshop, so it's more organized. Always a good project. But they're at their family house now. Diana says, okay, if we're gonna keep talking about films that scar you for life.
Oh, Requiem for a Dream, baby. That scarred me for life. One of the greatest movies I've ever seen. I'll never watch it again.
She actually said Up.
Up! Tell me more.
I've never managed the whole thing. So, I don't want to say it's scarred me, but definitely emotionally wrecked me. In the first 10 minutes, I never cried so hard over an animated film.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't watched Grave of the Fireflies.
I have.
Preparing myself for that film. But Up was so devastating in the first 10 minutes.
I watched Grave of the Fireflies when I was a stupid youth, so I probably did not get wrecked by it in the way I would if I was like an actual, fully formed frontal cortex or whatever adult.
WALL-E as well. WALL-E's also that one's heartbreaking. Yeah, I have a hard time also watching films of like really cute, sweet characters. Like, I don't know, ending up in just very existential situations. They're quite depressing. Technician Sarwell says the name was for an SCP story I never finished, but I like the name.
Okay, nice.
Irreversible messed me up the most, says Draco. Fantastically made. Punch in the stomach. I haven't heard that one.
No.
Oh, Punch in the stomach. Netflix removed Grave of Fireflies like a week before I went to watch it. Oh, that's too bad. There are many ways to have access.
We have the internet.
Okay, on to happier news. How was your carapaces?
Okay, like the sculpting was going great when I was doing the neck because I knew exactly what I'm doing, but then I did this awkward thing where like I sculpted this plate like going down like this, and I have this plate interfacing like this, so I need something like to go between them, and this side came out very well on the first try, and I'm very happy with it, and this side is causing me nothing but suffering and pain, and I think it's because the position of like the brains and stuff are, oh wait, I'm an idiot, I gotta do this, that'll solve my problem. So I smashed this together in like not the most, I basically use a lot of super glue and baking soda, and you always know I'm moving fast and breaking things when I use super glue and bicarbonate of soda, is that what we call it in Europe? Because it's a really easy way to quickly tack together parts, but it's imprecise, and therefore the whole like brain matter thing is slightly skewed to one side. It's not perfectly straight down the middle of the creature, so I had to put his head here, and then so I've got more carapace showing here and less carapace showing here, and now it's causing me difficulty. I gotta figure it out. It's not terrible, but I think I gotta add a little more.
Sorry, but who is this nice lady?
This is NORA the NORN QUEEN, my spouse,
yes,
partner.
I have not met Electro Dust Bunny before.
Electro Dust Bunny's been here a few times, but yeah, NORA, we are on vacation. And I'm doing a random stream because I wanted to work on this anyway, because we won't be able to do a creature conference later today, so hence the weird timing, and Nora organically came up and decided to help with the comments, so thank you, Nora, I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I was also eating lunch while you were chatting, and I thought, well, why not engage with this lovely community?
There you go, thank you.
They rarely hear from me, and it's always nice to say hi.
And Nora is a unique and awesome person who is miniature hobby curious and like randomly picks up Games Workshop publications and reads them and goes like the lore here could be better and stuff like that. So she also plays Tacticus, so she's invested. She did
Too much.
she does the thing that happened when I got her into Chrono Trigger. I'm like, you're not gonna like this game. And then she's like 3 hours later, she's like still playing it. So
Yeah, I have to say, I actually started playing Tacticus because you were doing stuff on it, and I was like, what is this Warhammer thing? It looks so nerdy.
yeah.
I was also in like a COVID haze.
Oh, was
and
that when you had
just-
COVID that you started playing
Yes,
it?
I totally
forgot that.
Tacticus helped me pass the time when I was really, really sick with COVID for the first time.
Which was only like a year ago, or a little less than a year ago.
Less than a year ago.
Yeah.
And then I realized it was an incredible time suck warp, and I have still enjoyed every moment of it. I have no regrets, really. Weirdly
Okay,
enough, I don't know
good.
how this game has done that successfully. Where like I really have enjoyed playing it, and all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but over many months now, I've familiarized myself with all the factions and the characters, and kind of fall in love with some of them.
If you're not familiar with Tacticus, it's a Warhammer 40k mobile game that's free to play and not as annoying as some free to play games. You play more free to play games than me, so you can probably comment on this. But
I think I move on from a game if it can't hold my interest. Like
Yeah.
I really need challenge, like from a game. I can't do things that are
Just
very
grind with no
repetitive.
challenge?
Yeah, no grinding. It has to be very goal oriented, but also like challenging. And somehow Tacticus has just checked those boxes
yeah,
for me, and I haven't really played any other phone game.
this is the Snowprint
So I'm pretty
developers finding this
impressed.
video and fervently taking notes about how to attract female gamers to their game.
Yeah, it's fun though because we're part of a guild, which I brought you into.
Yes, I created my own guild and I called it Warp Shadow, and I posted it on Instagram. And I'm like, "Hey guys, come join my guild." And then like people who follow me on Instagram apparently make models and don't play mobile games. So no one, like a few people joined. Shout out Phil Mignon. I don't know if Phil Mignon watches this, but
Shout out to Phil Mignon.
yeah. So I was like, we're gonna do our own guild, and like I just like created a guild. I'm like, people are gonna randomly join it, and apparently you need to like actually try and recruit people for your guild, and I was not good at that.
Yeah.
So the guild was going nowhere. A couple of people joined, and I appreciated it. But then Nora was like, I'm going on placement. I'm gonna go find us a better
I'm
guild.
going on a field placement just to see how things are. So I was like, okay, I think I might come back to this guild. And I left. I went to a different guild, and just happened to come across a guild that was amazing. Really supportive. Like people are really chill. They're really nice.
Well, except for if you're not active for 3
Yeah,
days, then they're not
no,
chill.
You're not active for 10 days.
I thought it was 3.
No, it's not 3. It's 10.
Oh,
You gotta read the rules, man.
whoops.
Okay, so other people say it's so much fun. Says Electro Dust Bunny. Tom says Pan's Labyrinth disturbing. Yes, that was very disturbing.
Yes.
The Pale Man was very disturbing.
No, but also just like the abuse of the kid
Yeah.
and like that creepy dude, the like real human in it. Was it the dad or something, or was he like a
Draco says
general?
if she's your Norn Queen, she should do a conversion of her own one day.
Well, fun fact, she got me Ilariel, the Sylvaneth character, and she did the Homer buying a bowling ball from Arch thing, where she's like, "I bought this for you. Let's make it together." And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I got her some Sylvaneth to try painting, so she could practice on them before she paints Ilariel, and
Yeah.
haven't come to anything yet. But I guess we can go back to that someday.
Tom says Diana doesn't have much of a choice. Our living room looks a bit like a Games Workshop. I talk a lot of Warhammer. Well, I don't know. She does have a choice.
She does have a choice. She's choosing
She
to be cool with
absolutely
that.
has a choice.
She always has a choice. Don't say that.
I always had a choice.
She's making the choice to support you.
Yeah. Because she loves you.
Lucky man.
Electro Dust Bunny, can I join it? I'm assuming join the guild?
You got to be level 25 or
25
higher
or
to join the
higher.
guild.
It's called Dragon's Den.
Yeah, it's a Canadian guild.
Shout out Dragon's Den. No, well, there's actually people there who are not from Canada.
Yeah. On paper, it's a Canadian
They're
guild.
they're flying below the radar.
No,
Some
I think
people
it's fine.
from the States and Europe, but it's fine. So yeah, check it out. I think it's full right now, but you can look it up if you want to. Dinah found Rocky Horror Picture Show really creepy when I saw about a small child who loved Meatloaf.
Cool.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good.
I feel a little shamed.
Don't feel shamed.
Now it's a
Just gotta watch it.
Mother Reaper says, there are games other than Warhammer?
Oh, Mother Reaper, good to see you.
Yes, Ever Queen. The Ever Queen is amazing.
That's Ilariel. She's the Ever Queen.
Electro, so there's New Blood Angels now.
This is Tacticus.
Ah, yes, that's Tacticus. Diana says, Tom made me play Settlers of Catan once. I still haven't forgiven him.
Oh, come on. Everyone has to play
come
Settlers of
on.
Catan once.
It's like your gateway drug to like,
board games.
Strategy
to
games.
like European style proper
Yeah.
games that.
Well, I'll be honest. I have played Catan once or twice. It's not my favorite game.
Oh, we got together after I moved out of my Catan phase. Catan is a gateway phase.
But I feel like I wouldn't reach for Catan. Like if there's a selection of board games,
Well,
Catan is
didn't
not
we
my
have a
number
friend
one.
recently where you're like, do you play board games? They're like, yeah, we play Catan. And didn't you judge them? Weren't you like,
I did.
Oh,
Catan is like the Monopoly
sweet
of
summer
board games
child.
now.
Well, of Euro style board games,
Yes,
of next gen
But I
better
think I
board
need to
games.
appreciate the journey. Like we play.
Have you
stuff-
played it?
Yes, I played it.
You have played Catan, okay?
How
Because it's
dare-
still
how
good.
dare you?
We should play it again sometime. It's still pretty good.
But we've been like getting into games that take, like 15 minutes to set up, and there's hundreds of little pieces. Like Orleans is one of them.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of that. But...
And we do like games with lots of different mechanics.
Well, we've done Death May Die, which is
Death May
kind of
Die's
miniature Cthulhu Lovecraft adjacent.
Yeah.
Well, it is Lovecraft, and it does have miniatures in it.
And Settlers of Catan is better than Necrons. This is Mother Reaper.
Oh, because there's a... So you know Necrons? Oh, you haven't seen this yet in Tacticus. The Necrons, you know how they're all skeleton people?
Yes.
Did I tell you about the lore behind them?
Yeah, they're the human energy spirits or whatever in these machines.
They were a humanoid race that was tricked by these star gods. The star gods told them, we'll give you eternal life, and this is how you have to do it. And they basically destroyed their organic forms and translated their souls into these mechanical bodies. But the star gods never told them that they were going to be a race of robots. The star gods are called the C''TAN. How would you pronounce that?
C''TAN? Catan.
Now you got the joke.
Haha, I got it now. Gideon, hearing about Alario really makes me want to build
Ushoran.
the
Oh.
Mortarch of Delusion.
You should look up Ushoran, the Motarch of Delusion. I feel like you'd like him. Everyone wants to make him into a Gene Stealer patriarch.
Mortarch of Delusion. Ancient and monstrous lore.
He's a big, creepy boy.
First of vampires. Oh, he's so cute.
Oh, he's so cute. This is why I love you.
Diana's trying to stop Electro Dust Bunny from trying Catan for the first time.
You can start there. You can play it once. If you have some friends who know it, you can play with
I feel
them.
like it's a rite of passage.
It's a rite of passage. It's not that bad. It's better than
It's
Monopoly.
like a rite of passage, like playing Monopoly.
You say it's Monopoly, but it's better than Monopoly. It's not as like directly punching people in the face as Monopoly is.
Ooh, he's so large and creepy.
Isn't he cool?
Cool.
I think Dwarfenage would be really into him.
He looks like he hasn't showered.
No, he's undead, buddy.
Oh, right.
He's basically a zombie
You know
vampire.
What? Undead things might need showers.
Can shower? Maybe in blood.
Yep, that is possible. Mother Reaper, speaking of big creepy boys, I am loving this Hive Crone.
Thanks. You know what I'm doing right now? I'm doing all this careful sculpting work to avoid having to work on the wings.
Can you also make it look like your Hive Crone hasn't showered in days?
No! Stop suggesting weird things for my models. First Blade Death Leaper, now this.
Listen.
This is a
Blade
this is a commission.
Death
I'll let you
Leader was
know.
Amazing
Oh, God.
as an idea, and I'm still waiting for you to
Listen,
add
so-
little 90s
So
sunglasses onto him.
I had an idea for how I'm going to do my Death Leaper that I absolutely love, and you know what I don't love about it? The idea of having to turn it into Blade.
It's just a suggestion.
Also, no one post any spoilers about Deadpool because I haven't seen Deadpool yet, and I've read too many spoilers. So please, no one post anything about Deadpool and Wolverine because I love those dudes, and I got to see that movie, and I don't want to know any more spoilers.
Feels like I got some Dark Souls inspiration. We're making a big
Dark
oak.
Souls.
Give him a dragon head for an arm and done.
Dark Souls is something I
Hive
don't know
tyrant
enough
the
about.
fedora.
No. Milady?
Milady. Have you made neurolectors into neurovictors yet?
Oh, I forgot about that joke.
Oh my gosh, Gideon, Norn Queen. Wow.
That's good. That's good. I like that. Excellent work.
Good lord.
Point.
What
Point
have
Gideon.
we created here?
Point for Gideon.
Tom, was there an Age of Sigmar version of Tacticus? I seem to remember.
Oh, maybe.
Wario.
I don't
That would be
know.
amazing. Oh, they should bring
Don't
Wario.
put Nora onto a different kind of Tacticus. We already spent too much time on this Tacticus.
Evil Laugh Entertainment.
Oh, Evil Laugh. Welcome. Good to see you.
The mouth on that thing looks great! Exclamation. I love how its head doesn't look like anything you already have.
This Evil Laugh, if you've been following us for a while, you know that is mine, Hydra, Malak's approach to Tyranids. Let's do something different. Let's not just put a Carnifex head on it.
Very cool.
Oh, frig. Hooky tail will hook ya. Careful.
Back to the movies, Rec.
Yeah.
Apparently I need to also watch Abyss. The Abyss.
We've never watched The Abyss?
Why are you shouting at me?
We've never watched The Abyss?
Why are you still shouting at me?
That is one of my formative cinematic experiences. I have failed you.
Apparently.
Oh my god.
Don't be so hard on yourself. You're being a bit of a perfectionist.
I'm horrified.
He's like gobsmacked.
I'm horrified in myself. I'm sorry. I have failed you. Wow. Like, if you propose divorce right now, I would not be shocked
Alright.
that I've
Give me
not shown you
everything.
the abyss.
Give me all of your money!
Okay, but I'm keeping Ripley.
No!
Yeah, it's James Cameron. Don't read anything about it.
I'm not going to, don't worry.
But just be aware that it's
I'm
slow.
to watch The Abyss.
Just be aware it's slow. But it's worth it. God, I haven't shown
On
you the
channel, I've
abyss.
watched Wolverine
Oh.
Deadpool many times already.
Whoa, that's a good endorsement.
Except for Diana as well. Mothman Prophecies.
Oh, hey. Oh, wait, that's a movie. I think I've seen that. Has that got Richard Gere in it?
Alright, so you gotta watch The Abyss.
Yes. It's not super scary. It's like human horror. It's like humans being fucked up to each other horror. But it's
Well,
still
that
very
sounds
good.
fun.
It's very good. No, there's going to be some stuff in there you like.
Alright.
Thanks. You helping? No! Get out of here. Get out of here. No! No! Bad giant silicone shaper. Ripley, what are you doing? You're bumping my table, buddy.
Vermis keeps
Wait,
sharing
Vermis is here?
spoilers.
Vermis is here?
Yes.
You didn't tell me Vermis is here.
Well, they're here.
Okay, Vermis is a legendary member of the Warhammer, of the game, of the Warp Shadow community, going back to like the days when we were on Yahoo groups. He's also one of the greatest
Wow.
visual artists I've ever met.
Oh my
Well, I've never met
gosh.
him. He's a spectacular drawer.
Welcome, Vermis.
Hey, you know the Dominatrix, Tyranid
Yes.
Dominatrix? Vermis made the sketch for that.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah.
Because when I first met you, you wouldn't stop talking about it.
The Dom?
You were like, oh my gosh.
2014?
This Dom is the greatest thing I've ever made.
Are you
I've ever
joking?
painted.
Are you
I've ever
joking?
sculpted.
No, that was like 2019 when I was working on it.
That's cool. Vermis is saying that the Wolverine and Deadpool movie has Wolverine in it.
Vermis is also
They're
a troll.
also saying
Has a very unique sense of
scene out
humor.
This movie, spoiler, takes place under the sea.
Vermis, you're ruining it!
Vermis! I thought it took place in a hole.
An abyssy hole.
Actually, I didn't know it was under the sea.
Oh, you spoiled it!
You did spoil it! How dare you!
Wow, Ripley! Ruining everything, buddy.
Ripley's getting really excited. Draco just professed love to Vermis because he sketched the Dom.
Good. And Vermis deserves
Vermis, be
it. So
prepared for many engagement proposals.
be prepared.
Draco says, speaking of Cameron, it still feels illegal that Games Workshop got rid of the Lifter Sentinel.
The what? Oh, it wasn't really a power lifter. It was close. Hey, Nora, I want your opinion on this because you know aliens. You love aliens. You know what the power lifter is in Aliens, right? Can you look up Astra Militarum OOP Sentinel? Let's see what you think, if you think it looks like the Powerlifter.
OOP?
OOP, it means out of production. Because it's the old one.
I'm like, oops.
Image? Oh, that's the really old one. Okay, so that's cheating because that's the game. That's the Forge World one that actually has a Powerlifter claw on it. But actually, let's try again. Let's search Imperial Guard Plastic Sentinel. You can just replace Astra Militarum. Those are not the good ones. You just look up Imperial Guard Plastic Sentinel.
I'm typing things
Thank you.
into a computer. Actually, I'm hovering.
Let's find you the right one.
Ow, Ripley.
A dog.
Ow.
Okay, third picture to the from the left. You can click on that one. Yep. Does that remind you of the Powerlifter? Well, I guess you don't see the legs in profile. Aliens.
No. Looks nothing like it.
That's how I feel. I mean, it might have elements of it. You can convert one into it, but that's what the Sentinel used to look like, and now it's more armored. Oh, that one on the far left. That's what it now looks like.
You
It's
know
pretty
what?
close.
What was that? What's that video game we played with the alien critter that we had to play as? And it was kind of like platform game.
Oh,
Is it Contagion?
Contagion. Is it Contagion with the red tentacle thing?
It had these guys, these sentinels in it.
It did? I don't remember those.
In like.
I thought there was like robot drones
in
that
like,
came and shot you.
32 or 64 bit or something.
I think it's probably 16, maybe 32. Yeah, if you like alien things,
Not
check out
Contagion.
Contagion.
It's not called Contagion.
Oh, it's not Contagion?
It's called yeah. What is it called?
I can almost picture it.
I can picture it.
It's not a mobile.
Carrion.
Carrion.
H20J.
Bless you.
I don't know how to pronounce that. H20J. Hoosh.
Oh, Hooge. Yeah, Hooge. That's a good name.
Hoosh. Yes, Carrion. Thank you, Hoosh.
This is the beautiful thing about streaming, Nora, is you sit here and you go, what was that called again? What was the name? And the chat is just going, Carrion, Carrion. Why aren't you checking the chat? It's called Carrion. Okay, this stream is now referred to as the one where Mr. Pink realizes he hasn't shown the abyss to Nora yet. God, I'm an idiot.
Tom says, wasn't a variant of the old Sentinel from Forge World I saw looking at. Oh, sorry, ATST.
Do you know ATST? Probably not. It's a Star Wars reference. You've probably only seen Return of the Jedi once. Okay, I think I'm happy with this
It's a
neck.
hard J. So how would you pronounce
Hooge.
it? Hooch.
Isn't it Hooch?
Vermis says, who's Carrie Ann? Oh
Yeah, now you see Vermis' sense of
my
humor.
God. I love it. I love it.
One day I will meet Vermis in life. One day. If he allows it. I believe he lives in Ireland, though. Not to dox him.
Chicken Walker.
Yeah, that's what they call the ATSTs in Star Wars.
Carrion is an amazing video game. I don't know what other platforms it's on.
Well, if it's on Switch, it's on everything else. Like, we get it last.
Like, I don't know. I'm assuming most people
It's an
in
indie
this
game.
chat have played it. It's on stream.
So you should explain it.
It's described as the site
No,
calls
what
it
do you
a
think?
reverse horror game in which you assume the role of an amorphous creature of unknown origin, stalking and consuming those that imprison you. So it's very much like it's a biological composite that was created in a lab.
You don't know that. They don't say that, do they?
Yeah, you can find it in a lab. Oh,
Ye-
it might not have been created, but it's
It might be
stored in
alien,
this
we don't
lab,
know.
and it's underground. I don't know if it's under the sea, but it's underground, and you start as like a little baby alien,
We've finished the game. You know it's not under the
and
sea.
then you get more abilities the bigger you get. Okay, Ripley, you gotta get down, buddy.
Yeah, it's basically you're playing an alien movie from the perspective of the antagonist. You are the creature in the lab, and you are fighting the scientists who want to stop you from murdering everybody. And your job is murder everybody and escape.
Yeah, it's a really excellent game. I played it in one sitting, I think in maybe 3
No,
hours.
come on.
Yeah, it's a short game. It's not long.
And
But I
you
found it
get all
very
kinds of new abilities, which is cool.
Enjoyable.
You're basically an amorphous mass of tentacles that can kind of change yourself into different stuff. Not like sky's the limit different stuff, but different stuff.
We're talking a lot about how to train your dragon.
I haven't seen that.
Have
Have you seen it?
I have not seen
I've heard a lot about it. I think maybe I've seen parts of it, but many people have said it's good.
Yeah.
And also, I think my boy Craig Ferguson's in it. I think he plays like one of the Vikings, like Toothless's trainer's dad, maybe.
Speaking of amorphous tentacles into different things, says Mother Leaper. I wonder whatever happened to Prototype.
I don't know Prototype. Is that a game? Oh wait, I think I've seen art from Prototype, and it was very inspiring for me. It looked like Tyranids meet Dark Eldar or something. You know Nora is into the proper parts of 40k because when we went to Warhammer World, we were wandering around the museum and there's all these Space Marines everywhere. And Nora's literally like, where are the Necrons? Where are the Dark Eldar? Why is this all Space Marines? I'm like, God, I'm glad I married you.
Draco says, I love how when you search Vermis, YouTube's first result is the horror game that doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
Vermis says, lol, yeah, I have both of those Vermis books. How could I not? They're fantastic. Melancholy, grim, dark, fantasy art.
Search Vermis Tyranids and you'll probably find some stuff on my blog. Vermis was the artistic mind behind, well, one of the main artistic minds behind our Geno project.
Mm-hmm.
When the new plastic gene sealers came out in 2004, and we had the idea of converting a whole bunch of different hybrid gene sealers, like Orc hybrid or Eldar hybrid gene sealers. Vermis did a lot of really awesome sketches for us back then, and my hybrid Orc gene sealer, hybrid Eldar gene sealer, and hybrid Kroot gene sealer are very much inspired by his work, although he would not say that because he hated the fact that I gave the hybrid Orc gene sealer a lantern jaw. He was very mad. He's like, this is not the way.
I see that in the top 3 results is modern synthesis.
It's because what I do is people who don't want to have online presences, I force them to by putting them on my blog. If you look up Hive Fleet Moloch, you'll probably get modern synthesis as well. I'm like, these people are amazing and you need to remember that they existed. And then I
Draco has a question.
try to drag them onto
I'm
Instagram.
assuming it's for Vermis. I don't know if it's for you.
Okay.
What would you say is your big inspiration for your designs? Don't just say Geiger.
Okay, well, who's that for? Draco, let us
Yeah.
know. Vermis, you can answer that question. What's your biggest inspiration? I'm going to guess that it's dinosaurs.
Vermis says, I always feel sharp case of imposter syndrome when Nick talks about my old scribbles.
Stop.
Oh, both. It's for both.
I get it. We, like, people who do art online sometimes feel like they're not proper artists, but I can... So this is the way that it works. You yourself can be modest, but other people can attest to your ability. Vermis, I attest to your ability. If you think my art is cool, you're going to think Vermis's art is cool, because I think it's extremely
Does
cool.
Vermis have an Instagram?
Yeah, can you... Oh, yeah, can you go open a new tab? Oh, yeah. Not now. And search... I think it's spelled differently. I think it's VYRMIS 123. VYR. Yep. Copy the link to his Instagram and put... Yep, that's him. And then put it in the chat. Up at the top, the URL. Oh, you don't need to do that. Yeah. And he's got Wolverine and Deadpool right there.
There we go. Here's Vermis's Insta. Go check him out.
Vermis is also not just a really good visual artist when it comes to drawing. He is phenomenally... He's a shockingly good sculptor. Like, he's an actual sculptor. I just fuck around with green stuff from time to time.
Is this your day job?
I don't believe so. I think he has a really not super creative day job, but I might be wrong. Don't feel like you gotta dox yourself, but if you want to share details...
Don't share anything.
You want to share details? You go ahead. Well, this is not my day job, right?
Nope. You're not gonna dox yourself either.
Nope, we don't talk about my day job.
It's actually harvesting potatoes.
I definitely work for the government in a very secret agency.
Super. Can you tell he's such a spy type?
Yeah, I am a spy type. Destabilizing foreign governments every day, all day.
I think this is a really good drawing of.
Oh, okay. So listen, yeah, Vermis, she's looking at your Stickman Gene Stealer. So can you go back to his profile? I'm gonna
How do I take pictures?
down the bottom. See where Discord icon is? Yeah, right there. She really loves your Stickman Gene Stealer.
That is so stinking cute. Now we're just going through your Insta.
So I think one of the reasons that I love Vermis's art so much is that he meets it out in like tiny little servings over years. And I'm like so hungry for it. And then he like puts out this one little thing. I'm like, oh my God, he posted something. But then he'll like go into like these like frenzied, I don't know, creation blitzes. So what you're seeing there, Nora, is that during June Stealer, because we have this community event we run every June, celebration of Gene Stealers, Vermis decided that he was just going to draw like a new June Stealer thing every day. So if you look at the dates on those drawings, they're like daily. And he was just coming up with like amazing shit. Can you?
How do I share a link to this photo? Trying to understand
It's
use
not.
YouTube.
I think go up and copy the URL maybe.
This?
Yeah, if you just Control A and Control C and then Control V. I
Alright.
think that works.
Sorry, I wish I could just post the image.
Can you go back to his profile? So yeah, see all of those are Gene Stealer things. Like, did you see the big furry Gene Stealer? Go up. That thing.
People can't see what we're looking at.
And see, no, I'm just showing you. See, the black thing is like a very hard to see Gene Stealer. If you click on the black thing, I think it'll come up. For some reason, it doesn't display very well. Oh, why can't you see it? Oh, it's very subtle. You see it?
Oh, you have cartoon
Yeah, see it all?
characters.
See all this Gene Stealer stuff?
Wow, that's really impressive. You do like both. Like,
All kinds of different
realistic
styles, eh?
things, And you do.
Like, look at that pencil sketch of the Orc Gene Stealer on the left.
He's very talented.
And look at this sculpting. There's another cool Gene Stealer.
This one's good too.
He did, I don't know if I have the sticker here. He has one of the stickers. He drew one of the stickers that I have.
Day job is a. Draco says their day job is a painter, so the best excuse for them grade plastic.
Like a house painter, I believe.
Oh. Dom does minis this year.
Dom does minis. Welcome.
Says, OMG, I just looked at my desk. This Hive Crone is looking so nice. That's it. I'm opening my Harpy box.
Do it. Okay, listen. We on our last creature conference stream, which we didn't finish, I got a little bit into this, but the Harpy Hive Crone kit has some of the most delicious Tyranid bits in it. And one of the things that you need to realize is this carapace trick, where you do not assemble the Harpy Hive Crone back carapace as it's meant to be in like this like very tall A frame. You got to take that thing, you got to spread it, and you get this like very pleasing 3rd edition pewter Carnifex, very wide carapace, and it's so good. And like there's like these barbs and like hooks and stuff in the kit that are very different from other Tyranid bits. It's a joy. Whoever did the Harpy Hive Crone, I have a lot of flowers for them.
Whoa. Draco now wants to know what your biggest inspiration for designs is.
My biggest inspiration for designs is concept sketches. Honestly, I love people who
Like
do concept.
Vermis's?
Yeah. Like Vermis's, but I love concept sketches because I feel like concept sketches give you enough definition about what something should look like to like get started on it, but they leave enough undefined that you can fill in the gaps. Like a concept sketch will only give you like one side of something, right? And then you gotta like figure out the rest.
Vermis says,
Hey, what do you think of this, Nora?
ooh, that's... wow, okay.
Eye of Sauron, as we
Something
called it on
else,
one
but
stream.
sure.
How do you sculpt a throat? I don't know. It's supposed to be screaming.
Yeah, sure.
I don't want to have it just like a big like mine shaft, like open all the way down.
Yeah. Vermis says, gonna be honest, I lost a lot of interest in sculpting and gaming over the last year or two. It's
Oh,
unfortunate,
that sucks.
but it is what it is. Sorry, man. Yeah, life is ebbs and flows, and
This table
I
is
know-
not very
I know
supportive.
Modern Citizens probably talked about caregiving duties and burdens probably over the past few streams.
Yeah, dude, I talked about it a while ago. I got really burnt out early this year.
Yeah, and I got burnt out too, and I lost interest in cooking, which I absolutely love, and gardening, and yeah.
In fact, there's a lot of commissions that I should have finished earlier this year that I didn't because I was so burnt out from caregiving for my father, who's 92.
But Vermis is trying to practice oil painting.
Oh, wicked.
That's amazing.
Well, I hope it comes back to you, buddy.
Yeah, I'm glad you still engage in
Hope your mojo comes back because we need you. And even if it's not Warhammer, I don't care. I just need you to be creative because I think your creativity is amazing. Whatever you want to do, whatever speaks to you. Draw more dinosaurs. It's amazing. Did you see Vermis's dinosaurs?
Yes, I've seen. They're very adorable. Apparently, gross movie monsters are also an inspiration.
Okay, yeah. So I'm very inspired by concept sketches. I'm very inspired by other people's conversions. This Harpy Hive Crone, this part on the back, the like neuro part, inspired by Frankendoodle over on Instagram. The head and the mouth, very much inspired by Persnickety Sculptor over on Instagram. Persnickety was on our last stream where we did the tier list for Tyrannid kits for bits. And that was where I was like referring to the Harpy Hive Crone as the greatest kit ever and telling Hydra he needs to take another look at it because he doesn't think it's that good.
And dinosaurs are also.
And yeah, like, and movie critters are inspiration. I did a video recently where I said like how I made the Thin Man, that model that I made for High Fleet Moloch that everyone loves, and I'm actually not as sold on it as the rest are, so I'm glad you are. But
I'm very inspired by the concepts around like ancient forest spirits.
You're a lover of forest spirits. That is true. You need to get some Sylvaneth in your life, man.
I have this image of like a giant owl bear spirit. That's like a tattoo that I'd like to get in the future at some point. And it just feels so protective and so.
You described it as a forest guardian.
Yeah, it's like a guardian.
Like a guardian spirit of the forest or something. Man, I'm really happy with how his neck's turning out. Damn. Wasn't sure how I was gonna do it. So key thing with my sculpting is I often just like slap Greenstuff on stuff and then see how it's working, and then I'll like carve a pattern into it unintentionally and be like, that works, let's go with that. And this I feel like works. So this commission is actually for Matt from miniwargaming.com. Pretty famous. So I'm hoping that it might show up in a video, which would be sweet. Because, fun fact, miniwargaming.com is like down the road from where I live. I've just never been to their bunker. Oh, I posted this up on Reddit as well. I didn't check to see how that post is doing. Hey, stop trolling through Vermis's Instagram and focus. No, I'm just kidding. You go ahead and troll through him. I would do the same.
Wow.
If I was looking at Vermis's Instagram.
Oh, and bugs. Yes. All sorts of animals and organisms. Love it.
Bugs are good inspiration.
Like horseshoe crabs?
I think I also have like weird things just like stored in my head that just like come out as I'm working.
Those giant looking pill bugs under the sea. What are those called?
Oh, horseshoe crabs.
No.
No, is it a different kind of crab? What are you referring to?
It is super.
Do they have a Latinate name that I can't remember?
Super deep water critter. Giant underwater.
Okay, here we go. Here's a close-up. Let's see if this works.
Isopods. Thank you, Vermis.
New Vermis would know.
Of course you know. See?
Oh, those are creepy. That's good.
Massive, weird ass things. I love them. You know, it is probably not so surprising that I like all this kind of weird
You end up with a
stuff.
monster weirdo?
No, that I like all this weird stuff. I think like when I was growing up, I'm actually reminded now that I used to have this set of like I guess they call them like factopedias or like little kitty encyclopedia books are mostly pictures.
Yeah.
And like each book had like a theme. Like one was like earth and sea, the other was animals, the other one was like.
Were these the black and white ones?
No, these were all
Or no,
in
like
color.
was it a white color cover with little
Yeah.
People
eyewitness.
Eyewitness or something?
I don't know if it's eyewitness, but it's like
someone in the chat is screaming it right now. White cover with pictures on it. I something.
No, they're still screaming isopod.
Kid book.
uh,
See, this is how this works. You
So-
go, what's that word again? Isopod.
actually,
It's
remember in
isopod.
the day when you had the traveling Avon lady, where there's a traveling.
No, how do you remember that?
Well, because like my mom.
Oh,
got
book
sold
salesman.
A bunch of that. Anyway, so they were like these encyclopedia book salespeople.
Oh, right,
So my
okay.
dad got like a whole set of them. And I remember that I was always most interested in the underwater sea creatures.
Oh, I didn't know
I was
this.
so
Cool.
interested in it that as a kid, I would always look up like eyewitness books, underwater sea creature, deep sea creature, like just that kind of vein of stuff, like looking at the anglerfish. the
Oh,
blobfish,
anglerfish. That's a
all
good
that.
choice.
Anglerfish is also great inspiration for like monsters. And I guess it just sort of explains, yeah. How it's
Doodle,
organic
what are you
here.
doing? Stop bumping my table.
Lampreys, weird worms.
Would you be able to move that bench to the left a bit? Because then he can get by you without bumping the
Oh,
table.
sure.
Thanks.
Because there's so many other places to get by.
Do you follow Marco's underwater photography account?
No.
Oh, you need to. If you open up Instagram, you're going to love this. You're going to freaking love this. So for anyone who doesn't know, Hive Moloch is an underwater. His like big hobby
Interesting.
outside. It's all called Aliens from the Deep. All one word. There you go. He's a diver and an underwater photographer, and he takes a lot of creepy pictures of underwater things. These are pictures he took, Nora,
Whoa.
while diving.
Ow.
Well, you know the bobbit worm picture I have in the studio is his, right? That
Oh,
giant bobbit worm?
Equipment does he have?
Expensive equipment.
Holy jeez. This is stunning.
Yeah, he once flooded one of his underwater cameras and was not happy about it. Sorry. Didn't realize it was off screen there.
Oh, he's the one who did the bobbit worm.
Yeah, so that bobbit worm that's in my studio is one of his photos.
That's beautiful.
He took an amazing picture of a bobbit worm, and the caption that he put on it is, "They're already here." And he printed it out massive. It's like 2 feet by 3 feet.
I really like this one.
Let's see.
Mantis
Oh, mantis shrimp. Yeah. They're beautiful. That's probably the one I like more than the bobbit worm because of the colors. I should ask him for a print.
Electro Dust Bunny has a live bug. What kind of bug do you have?
Oh, Electro Dust Bunny posted pictures of their live bug on our Discord, and people were not thrilled.
Really?
It's like this crazy maggot looking thing, and posted a lot of pictures of it. And you can go to the Discord and see it.
What is it?
Open up my Discord app there. I'll show you.
Oh, dear.
I'll show her the pictures. It's just a bit shocking if you don't love bugs to have like close up pictures of this creepy thing on your device.
Can you take it for walks?
I don't think it's big enough to take for
Does
walks.
it,
It has a lot of legs. I don't
Does it
think it
have
walks very
balls?
far.
oh, if we hear the word ball. Hello.
If you look on the left hand side, you see the Creature Conference logo? Down. That one, yep. And then scroll up on the left hand, and then scroll up. Up. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. It's right above this. Here you go. There are the bugs. You can keep scrolling. Those are Electro Dust Bunny's bugs. They're like maggoty looking things.
Are they like beetle larvae? Do they turn into like live beetles or something?
Well, they can tell you.
Oh my goodness. Wow, these are quite large.
If you have entomophobia, is that a thing? Fear of bugs? These are not pictures you want to see.
Oh my goodness. Not grubs, but zoanthropes.
Oh, it's supposed to look like a tyrannid. You know,
Monica says this trigger warning, please.
you know zoanthrope. That's another word for neurothrope. You have a neurothrope. Floating things with big brains.
Massive Does the grub turn into a thing? Or is it just grub itself living for a lifespan?
I think that's a larval state. Almost done. What is that?
Making swimming hands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're going to be calling this soon.
The rain has paused.
Oh, yeah,
It's
good time
to
for
go
swimming.
But it has been very
I've
sunny.
accomplished some good stuff on my sculpting here. Just have a little bit more putty I want to use up for something.
And
Don't
I
know
feel
what.
at home with the nerds on the internet.
Good. Well, you're a nerd on the internet as well, so.
I'm not as much of an internet as you are.
Excuse me? Your Reddit and YouTube history beg to differ. Beg to differ.
Wow. Way to out me.
I basically didn't use Reddit, and Nora just kept referring to it. I was like, okay.
Vermis, the grub thing is that Electro Dust Bunny has giant grubs.
Vermis, you can see it in the Discord. I think you're in the Discord, the Shadow and the Warp Discord.
I
If you
don't
go
think I
to,
should post it in the chat.
no, you can't. If you go to the Hive Node General channel in our Discord, Vermis, and you scroll back, you'll see the bugs, the grubs. Don't post them again, Electro Dust Bunny, please. You've posted enough. They are there for anyone to find who wants them. You can put the name of them in the chat here, and people can go look them up. Don't want people leaving the Discord for scary bug pictures. I mean, it's a Tyranid Discord, so.
Like, you guys are just so silly. Like, you draw inspiration from really
Creepy
messed up
shit.
looking creepy shit, and you run away when there's like a giant grub.
Well, this is actually what Electro Dust Bunny said. Electro Dust Bunny said, like, I don't get it. We look at crap like this in Warhammer all the time. And I was like, yeah, but if you're looking at, like, violence and, like, whatever in Warhammer, and then you see, like, a real picture of real violence, they're a little different.
Jericho asks, what do you think is the most logical way to go for the hive mind? Going bigger or smaller with nodes?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that if I was going to talk about hive mind logic and I was going to talk about, like, I don't know, strategy for Tyranid surviving, I would say that small dispersed hive nodes, like the kind of thing we're seeing with Neurogons now, I think that makes most sense because, like, there was the shoot the big ones rule. Like, the Imperium has learned that if you see a giant Tyranid, put a bullet in its head because it's probably the thing directing them. You don't want to go larger like Norn emissaries because your prey can see that those are important. And it's also a big target to shoot. I would say, like, make the node, do what we're doing a bit with these, like, neurosys things that you have on, like, barb gaunts and Norn emissaries and stuff like that, and spread out the hive mind signal amongst little things that it's harder to kill all with one big shot. What do you think? Tell me your opinion on it as well, Jericho. And then you have, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you have, like, multiple systems that back each other up. Redundancy. So that if you lose one, another one can pick up where the other one left off. Oh, man. You got any Kleenex over there? No. Yeah. Getting a bit snotty.
Blow your nose on the computer internet.
I do not want to blow my nose on the computer. Well, I'm going to have to. I'm here, aren't I? So is there anyone who is into Age of Sigmar and is really excited about the preview stream tomorrow? Hopefully there are some. I am only excited if there are cool Skaven models, because I think Skaven are neat. And that one weird Skaven model they showed us that was like a abomination looks cool. Oh, I'm also just realizing that we've got a delay in the stream. When I stream from my laptop, there's no delay, but I think that the internet, maybe because I'm doing it from my phone, maybe this is just not sped up to the proper point. How long does it take for my hand to show up? Was it? Huh? Oh no, it's pretty delayed. It's been weird that Games Workshop hasn't had any preview streams for a while now. Like, I feel like they're just taking stuff that would have showed up in a preview stream and putting it on Warhammer Community. But maybe that's because people are on vacation, and or maybe they've cut back on their budget for attending like international events where they have these previews. But it always seems like the preview is actually streaming from Warhammer headquarters, and they just put it up on a screen somewhere else. I don't know. Anyway, there's a new one tomorrow, August 10th. I think it's going to be like the stuff we got with the release of 40K. What was that planet called? What did I say? Feast at that planet the Tyranids ate in the Leviathan box. Someone's screaming it in the chat right now. Anyway, there's going to be a preview like that where instead of doing it the way they did it for us, where they showed the Tyranids first because we won, and then they showed the Space Marines, I think they're just showing all of the stuff for Skaven and Stormcast on the tomorrow stream. So I will not tune in live. I will tune in after the fact and see what was shown. Ogrum, that's the name of the planet. Ogrum. Someone's probably shouting it in the chat. One last bit of putty, Nora, and then I'm ready to go. Giving me the eyes, are you?
Sorry, I'm kind of staring at him, being like, hey, we should jump in that lake.
Look, the weather just got really nice. Let's go outside.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go busy myself with other things, but I'll say I'll...
Here's the weather outside. Oh, so nice.
Say
more sunny,
thank
less cloudy.
you, everyone, for letting me crash the stream and chat with you about horror films and other random shit.
Thank you for joining, Nora.
It was very nice.
I appreciated you helping.
Participate.
With the
Yeah,
chat.
I mean, you know, you usually have a co-pilot, so I'll step in every now and then.
You have offered to do this before, and I have been like, yes, we should absolutely do that. And then we never made it happen.
Yeah, because life got busy.
So I'm glad we made it happen.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, day, morning,
Thing,
afternoon.
stuff.
And we'll see you later. Lovely to meet everyone.
Thank you for joining the stream. Bye-bye. Oh, Mother Reaper says, lovely to meet you, Nora. Verma says, thanks, Nora.
Mama Reaper.
Dom Does Mini says, Ogrim, helping me out. Oh, vermis used to have tarantulas. Interesting. Invertebrate. Okay, I don't have the terminology for bugs and stuff. Apparently, inverts are invertebrates. I gotta use up this. Oh, this putty's not sticking. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Don't use crappy putty. I'm done. Everyone, have a great day. Hope you enjoy this random stream. We'll be back to our regular schedule on Wednesday with Work in Progress Wednesday, where I'll be chatting with Voices on Silence, Shane, Tactical D-Bag, Will, and Kajan. And yeah, you can look forward to that stream. And I hope to be able to post pictures of this finished model soon because I want it to be done this weekend. Still got to sculpt here, got to do some stuff on the wings, and then should be good to go. So I really appreciated all of you joining the stream on such short notice. And we'll chat with you again soon. Now I need to remember how to shut this thing down. Thanks. Bye-bye. I just pressed the big X. Let's see. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Okay. See you later.